This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Well, it's great to be 8-0, and certainly I thought our kids prepared well. And it's not the easiest week to prepare for, coming off of an extremely emotional win at Virginia Tech and playing a school that in Western Carolina that had not played a game. And you know that's different for the kids when you can't put on a film and show them something, or it's just a very different week of preparation. But I thought our kids did well in preparing, and obviously executed well enough on Saturday to get the win, which will never, as many criticisms as I will have about the game itself in meetings with players or with coaches, we never cease to celebrate victories. They're hard to come by in the college football game, and so we're very grateful and thankful to be another week in the top 25. I showed them the picture again this morning. They had to look up one spot on the picture, and I told them they should delete the other two and replace it with this one and save it for their future. Put it on the wall somewhere. So that's real this week, and in order for it to stay real, we certainly have got to find a way to compete Saturday night with our toughest opponent of the year to date. I really don't know. I don't know if COVID affected NC State earlier or not, but it's hard for me to see how they've lost 3 games when I put their tape on. They are extremely talented and deep. Best defensive front we've seen. Their linebackers and D-line are extremely talented. Offensively, they know exactly what they're doing. Dave is a great coach. I've known him for a lot of years. We've played a lot of golf together, and he's very good. And we have competed against each other in the Chick-fil-A in the final group, I think 3 straight times. And so we've known each other for a while, and I have great respect for what he does and his coaches. And it's their roster is stacked with 3- and 4-star kids, and we've got our hands full with this one for sure.
All right, thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll take questions for head coach Hugh Freeze. Use the raise hand option. And again, with a full house today, just ask that everyone kind of limit to one question at a time. We'll get back to you, but just want to make sure we can get to everybody. So we'll start with Hank Kurtz from the Associated Press.
Hey, Hugh. Being ranked for 3 weeks in a row now, that's pretty heady stuff for Liberty University. How do you think your guys are dealing with it, and what keeps them kind of on an even keel? I know Malik is very steady in his approach to that, but what keeps everybody on an even keel?
I think it truthfully comes from us, the staff first. How they see us react to that news, to that compliment, and the words that I say, and then it really helps when you have a Malik or a Javon Scruggs who has that same mentality and same voice in the locker room that echoes, you know what, it's great, it's awesome, we're thrilled, you deserve it right now, but you know what, as young as we are, to be in that heady stuff, as you say, in order to remain there in people's minds, there's only one option, and that's win. Can you do that every single time in this game with the schedule we face and where we are right now? It's hard, and probably not, but who knows when that will end, because we certainly are confident, and we certainly believe that we found a way to be perfect 8-0 thus far together, even with all of our imperfections. So can we do that again Saturday night? I don't know. We're going to enjoy the reality that we are in that heady stuff right now, but we also understand that stuff like that can come and go pretty quickly in this college football game.
right, next let's go to Damian Sordelette from the Lynchburg News in Advance.
If you're not one of the Blue Bloods, Hank. If you're on the Blue Bloods, you get to lose one or two and still hang in there. Because you still vote them, Hank. You still vote them up there at 6 and 7 when they lose one or two.
Vote, Coach.
Oh, okay.
That's guys like Damian and people like that vote.
Gotcha.
So you got to be nice to Damian.
Gotcha.
I'm now on the top 25 voting panel this year, but you another week, another world of rumors swirling around. South Carolina, your name's getting brought up again. Jamie Caldwell, Billy Napier, those guys. Is this going to be common hat going forward that every time a job opens up, your name's going to pop up?
Well, if you keep asking the question, I guess it is. I don't know. Jamie and Billy are great coaches. They deserve all the stuff they get. Look, you can ask. I don't know if it'll keep coming up as a compliment to our kids and our administration and our program, and you can keep asking. But my total focus is on our kids and Liberty University and building this program, and that's the answer you're going to get if you ask this week, next week, or the following week. So. I don't know how else I can address it. I've addressed it 10 times and said that it would take something very, very, very special for me to even consider it, and I don't know that even that would do it, me considering it. My focus is here. I'm at peace and love what we're doing. So you're probably going to have to deal with those rumors, I guess. As long as we're winning. If we lose one or two, everybody would probably quit talking about it.
All right, next let's go to Oliver Hodgkinson in the UK.
Coach, what pleased you most about Saturday's win, and was there one thing that you've pinpointed from that game that you think you need to work on this week with Saturday's game against NC State in mind?
Yeah, probably the one thing that pleased me the most is getting every single kid that we had dressed out in the game. Believe it or not, I mean, that means something to those parents, to those kids. They work so hard, man. Many of them are walk-ons, and they're on scout team all the time, and very seldom get to see themselves on the game field. And I just obviously love those moments of being on the headsets and saying, man, all right, who hadn't been in? Let's get them in. I like that feeling, so I was really pleased with that. There were some good individual efforts. I thought our young D-line played better than our first D-line when we in the last of the fourth quarter when we put in Perkins and Kendi and Whitehead, and heck, I thought they played really, really well, which excites me for the future also. But so Kevin Shaw had maybe his best game with some phenomenal catches. So there were some good things. We've got to just. I told our kids this morning, man, we're in the stretch run now, and I've coached 28 years or so now, and I've seen teams in the stretch run go a lot of different directions, and it's the time where your mind is your enemy at times. You're tired. The same routine gets old, and the teams that do well, fare well in the stretch run typically are the teams that remain obedient to the process, and that means the little things. And so I spent a lot of time this morning going through what that looks like, and kind of with what our theme is this week, and what does us remaining obedient with mental toughness really look like in this stretch run. And I think we need to improve. We got a little sloppy offensively in our run game. We didn't strain very hard to win blocks. We didn't strain very hard to get the extra yard, I didn't think. Thought our receivers played well, except for the holding penalties that were frustrating. But we definitely got to get back to making sure we're doing the little things right, straining.
All right, next, let's go to Ed Lane from the Fast Lane on CBS Sports Radio.
Coach, obviously, you guys are still in the early preparatory stages for NC State. just your initial impressions of what challenge that presents to you guys, and being the third ACC opponent, another opportunity to get another win against an opponent that will resonate quite a bit.
Yeah, this, like I said earlier, I think is our toughest challenge thus far to date. Their defensive front is bigger, faster, stronger than we faced this year. They're very, very well coached and just difficult to block. Their nose guard's the best player we've faced this year defensively, and they pose a problem. Offensively, I think Hogman is he's executing for them in their RPO stuff. They got really, really good receivers. That 86 he's a different animal now. He's built different, and as is 6 and 88, and those offensive tackles are really talented also. So, it's it's an ACC opponent that is full of 3- and 4-star players, and it shows when they put the uniform on. That's what they're supposed to look like, and so it's a great challenge of us just matching their physicality and their size and speed for a 60-minute game is going to be a challenge.
All right, next let's go to Damian, then we'll go back to Hank.
Hugh, on the injury front, you had 3 tight ends who missed the game this past weekend. Michael Bollinger, Braden Monday, Yost, and Javian Lofton hasn't dressed with the PCL injury. And how's Anthony Butler doing? It looked like he was hobbling around a little bit after the game.
Well, he was hobbling because he got hurt in a celebration. It wasn't because of football. I mean, he's celebrating after we got but he's fine. He'll be fine. He went through everything this morning and did fine. Lofton's got a chance to be ready. We'll know more tomorrow. He looked good this morning running around. We'll test him some in practice tomorrow. So he's got a chance to go. Bollinger and Mundy are back. Mason is doubtful.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Hank, then we'll go back to Oliver.
You've played 2 ACC teams on the road, beaten them both. Each one has been kind of a step up from the last one. How much confidence do you guys get from having done that? Obviously, every team is different, and when you watch film, that jumps out. But how much confidence do you guys get from the fact that you've played this competition and you've beaten it twice?
Well, experience is a great teacher, and from that you're either going to gain, wisdom to do something different or confidence to do what you did again. And the one thing I do not concern myself with or really worry will be our confidence going into Saturday. I don't know. I think we breed confidence into our players, and I think their experiences that they've had with us thus far give them reason to believe that we will go in and compete. So I worry about that nose guard, and I worry about that RPO, and I worry about all that, but I don't really worry about our confidence because of, obviously, the experiences we've shared together thus far.
All right, let's go now to Oliver, and then we'll get to Dave Walls.
Coach Alex Barbier is in great form. He hit his career-long field goal on Saturday night and obviously came up clutch against Virginia Tech. He spoke about confidence just then. How important is it for you to have confidence in Alex Barbier on what's probably going to be an extremely close game on Saturday night?
Huge. I think him coming into having more confidence and that we believe in him to make, critical field goals will pay dividends for us because, points are going to be huge. When you get an opportunity to get them in this game, we've got to take them, and he plays a huge role in that. So it's really nice to see him start having some confidence.
All right, next we'll go to Dave Walls from ABC 13, and then we'll get to Emily.
Coach, good morning. Carl Poole did some very nice things for you on defense on Saturday. A kid who walked on from just down the road in Danville with his brother, and he also mentioned that he had just recovered from COVID. Could you talk about the journey that Carl has had, not only on the field but off the field? He received a scholarship from you during camp, and he was just really beaming after the game. I'd love to hear your thoughts about his development.
Well, it's you have great joy to see. Number one, he's a great kid and has a great family, and the sacrifice they made to send their kids to Liberty because they believe in our vision and mission was huge and a sacrifice for them. And and he earned the scholarship, and he's our backup Mike linebacker now, and arguably played the best game of anyone on defense Saturday with the 2 turnovers, I think 6 tackles, and so it's been a really fun to watch, not only his development but us being able to reward not only him but his family because of what he's put into it. So it's good to start seeing him have success. So, we'll have more confidence to put him in now. Also, after seeing the way he performed Saturday.
All right, let's get to Emily Austin from Flame Central, and then we'll go back to Hank.
Hey, Coach. I know you prefer to play the early games, but first game of the season at night. How does this change, the game preparation for you and the guys? And they have to be pretty pumped to be playing under lights for the first time this year.
I have no idea if they're pumped or not. Everybody knows I like early kicks, but I've had a lot of night kicks too, and we won't let that. It really won't. I have no idea if it'll phase us differently, but we won't give it any power this week. I assure you, it's another game. It's a different kick time. It's another opportunity. It's about our process. It's about our preparation and how we go about the hotel, how we go about meals, how we go about everything is the same. And the only thing that's different is the kick, and it's under the lights. So will that affect us? I sure hope not. We won't talk about it as if it will. It shouldn't, but it is different. As a coach, you wish you'd have a few of those experiences. We practiced at night a few times, but it was back in August. Now we're in November. So, but man, we're not the first team to have to change game times. So let's go kick it off whatever time they tell us. It will be as close to my bedtime though, so I got to figure that one out. I don't know. I like to go to bed at 8 or 8:30.
Coach, I want to follow up on Damien's question because I know how much you love that stuff.
Okay.
You came along, Liberty came along at a time when you were looking for some place to be.
Yep.
We've talked about that, and obviously you've had great success. You've coached at the highest level. And coaches are competitors just like players.
Right.
Do you envision yourself as a guy that will have a statue outside Williams Stadium in 25 years because you stayed there?
Yeah.
Or do you envision yourself going to trying to pursue the highest level again?
Well, the last thing that I want is a statue. I'm not deserving of anything remotely close to that. I want to do the best job I can where my feet are planted, and that is loving and building this place that I'm at right now. I'm very blessed to be here. I really don't. I don't have a lot of. I'm like, I wake up in the morning, and one of the things I say is God, what do you have for me today? And how do I be faithful and obedient to that? And all that I have peace about right now is sitting right in front of me here on this mountain, and I'm thankful for it. They were more than gracious to me and to my family, and that goes a long way with me.
Does Liberty fit your mindset, your lifestyle, so much so that all those other people would not be heard?
Quite possibly.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, let's go to Damien, then we'll get back to Oliver.
Hugh, the past 2 weeks we've seen Tim Glass get in and play fairly well there at the Rover, backing up Javon Scruggs, and he's going to get a chance to play in a stadium he's quite familiar with, being that he was at NC State for 3 years. And have you had a chance to talk to him about what this week might be like for him, or what this experience might be like, and how has he started to come into form now that he's back on the field?
Yeah, no, we haven't discussed that yet. I'll probably, make my rounds at practice tomorrow, and that'll probably be something that I talk to him about, just to make sure that, his mindset is right, and it's all about us and not where you used to play or who you know or who you don't know or whatever could go on in that situation. That really has nothing to do with the outcome of this game. So he's getting better. He's still rusty. Still doesn't move quite as well as he probably can. But it was good to have him. He's added additional depth there, and we certainly need him.
All right, next let's go to Oliver, then we'll go back to Hank.
Coach, you've already referenced about the toughness of NC State's defense on the defensive line and the linebackers, but they're a unit that are allowing over 33 points a game. Where do you see the opportunities for attacking that defense on Saturday night and the flow of the offense from you guys?
Oliver, I said I don't know really. The 33 points is shocking to me when you turn the tape on. And again, I don't know if they had COVID issues earlier and didn't have all their guys. That's hard for me. I can't keep up with who has COVID, who doesn't, and what's contact tracing, and I can't keep up with all that. I leave that up to our administration, and I'm certain each school, does what they do. So I don't know really how they're giving that up. I know against Florida State they didn't give up that, and they look pretty full at strength. I would say our plan of attack is if they would let us have 15 guys on the field on offense, I could probably come up with something that we could take advantage of them with. Other than that, I got nothing. I don't know. It's going to be hard.
Thanks, Coach.
I don't think you ever met Jerry Falwell.
No,
but I'm sure you've heard his vision for sports. He was an avid sports guy. One of the Mr. Big moments of my life was walking into his office and seeing the back of his head in a chair facing the other direction in his office. But he was a huge sports guy, and he talked to me about being on the 50-yard line at Notre Dame and seeing the evangelical school beat a Catholic school and, kind of rise to that level. Is there any part of you that considers any of that in what you have done and is kind of cognizant that was kind of the goal when this whole thing got started?
Yeah, I love walking in this vision that he cast in 1971, and you just feel kind of very blessed and favored. And so my daughter keeps up with she takes care of keep me updated on the social media world, and she uses my account sometimes to keep up with things when I don't really feel like I need to get on it. And but she showed me something. I guess it was Saturday, where it had a picture of 3 8-0 teams, and it was BYU, Notre Dame, and Liberty. And man, I just thought to myself, boy, I bet Jerry Sr. is smiling, and obviously there's many people that have followed in his steps and that has joined, because really it's funny that we're talking about this week the obedience of Noah for 43,800 days for a vision that he believed would come true. And when many others, I thought probably while he's building a boat in a desert, they probably thought, man, come on, man. You as my player said this morning, they would say, man, he's tripping. And I think there's probably been many people that felt the same way about Jerry Sr.'s vision. Thankfully, there have been some people, Jerry Jr. and many others that believed in it, and the administration here. And are we ready to line up and beat Notre Dame? Probably not, but I'd like to try it. I wish we can play them in a bowl game or something. That would be awesome. But it's pretty neat for sure, Hank, to kind of get this program closer to what Jerry Sr.'s original vision was.